He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. He's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. He's the Gruffalo. He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. He's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. He's the Gruffalo. His eyes are orange, his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. He's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. He's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. He's the Gruffalo. He's the Gruffalo. Hello and welcome to this guitar lesson on the song The Gruffalo, and this is the easy version, easy chords to strum. I will do an advanced strumming version or picking version, and I'll also show you how to play the tune in separate videos. So I think the first thing to do is to show you the chords really close up. Okay, so for the chord of E minor, you only have to strum these three strings, the G, the B and the E, open, and you'll see from my other hand I'm just holding the guitar up. You don't actually have to put any fingers down at all. This is an easy E minor. Okay, let's have a look at the easy B7 chord now. Right, it's finger 1 behind the 2nd fret of the G and finger 2 behind the 2nd fret of the little E string. And you strum the 3 strings nearest the floor, and it sounds like that. So a lot of the chord changing in this song is E minor to B7, just backwards and forwards like that. Okay, now we have a D chord in this song, and the D chord is the B7 I've just shown you, plus the 3rd finger behind the 3rd fret of the B string, and you would strum the 4 strings nearest the floor for that chord. So that's D. The G chord, very simple, 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the E string, and you strum the 3 strings nearest the floor. Okay, and in verse 3, you also have an A minor chord. An easy way of doing that is you do this, 2nd finger behind the 2nd fret of the G, 1st finger behind the 1st fret of the B, and the E is open. And you strum the 3 strings nearest the floor. So your 5 chords are E minor, no fingers needed at all, just strum the 3 strings nearest the floor, B7, D, G, and A minor. And there are more advanced versions of those chords, but those versions will do you fine for this easy version of the song. By the way, if you want to sing the song and play it, and you probably will, I've said in very tiny letters at the top, the starting note for the singing is 2B. So if you put your finger on the B string behind the 2nd fret, play the B string, and that is the note that you sing for he. Oh, you see I put a little asterisk on top of the first word he in verse 1. And that points you up to that little bit of information at the top of the page. He has terrible tusks. It's a good way of finding that first note. But you don't actually have to play that, of course. So the first chord that you play is E minor on the word terrible, and you play the chord and you count 3 beats. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you've got B7 and you count 1, 2, 3, and you've got E minor and you count 1, 2, 3. So obviously you do that non-stop. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you know it's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So literally non-stop counting in threes, and every time you count the number 1, you strum the chord, and you obviously keep the chord on right to the end of the 3 beats before you change to the other one. Verse 1 and verse 2 are the same in terms of chords. Verse 3 is a little bit different, it's a bit longer, isn't it? You've got Gruffalo, 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 he's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. So that bit goes twice, and the end bit with the growling is E minor, D, G, A minor, 4 lots of B7, and a single E minor for that last keys, the Gruffalo. And of course that's the only time you play the A minor in the whole song. So basically you've got to learn the chords, so you're really good at them. And by the way, the tiny numbers underneath the codes show you your left-hand fingers. And so you can see on the B7, underneath 2G, it's got first finger up on 2G, and underneath the 2E is a finger number 2, so it's second finger on that note. So the tiny numbers really help you with your left-hand fingering. And the left-hand fingering is very important. So you've got to learn the chords, look at the words which are typed on top of the words, and simply strum the chords, counting in threes, and it shouldn't be too hard.